I spent $12,109 on Whiteout Survival. It's day 86. I'm hoping to slow my spending down. I'm trying to play as an efficient whale. So tonight, one of the key things I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like to be Supreme President, because that's a role that not a lot of people have. So I'm going to go into that user interface and show you the options I have as Supreme President. But before I do that, let's get into the spending plan for tonight, because I'm not going to be spending an awful lot. First of all, after I've been through an SVS prep, I think I'm gonna really just try to do all my upgrades during SVS prep. I've heard some older states do this. Essentially, they give up almost all events just to be able to save for each SVS and do the upgrades between them. So here's the thing. Look at the mix and match deal. I do have this queued up for fire crystals because it is going to be something that blocks me soon. If you notice yesterday, I actually misspoke. I miscalculated yesterday. I must have fat fingered the wrong key on the keyboard. I said that the Wishful Emporium was 10 fire crystals per dollar, but I think they were actually like 8.4 per dollar, and I must have miscalculated. This is something more like 7 per dollar, but it is hard to find them in this quantity. There are other deals where you can get them at 10 or 7, but getting them in a large quantity is the trick. So I probably will, just for the $5 as a VIP efficiency spend, but I'm trying to slow down. I have 2 days on this, so a couple days on this actually. So I'm not going to buy this today, but I do have it queued up for fire crystals. And likewise, this one I have 6 days on. I know after being through the pet grind for SVS how important this is going to be to advance my pets. So I am going to buy this as well. And I think I'm not even going to bother with the advanced common wild marks this time, or the advanced wild marks this time. I'm just going to grab the advancement materials because that's the highest value and hardest thing to get. But I'm not going to do it yet. The daily deals. I'm still going to do this. It is a whale account. I am going to need the general mythic shards, so I'm going to grab that, and that's a good VIP efficiency spend. And now I'm going to grab my weeklies. Now, I'm not going to do the pet weekly card because, the value isn't super high. If you look at this, like the other deal was I think it was around 2 of these chests per dollar, and this one's only like, if you add it all up, it's a little more than 1 per dollar. So it's not super high value, and I know we can get them other ways. And this I'm going to claim that was the last one I had to claim. All right, so that's the general shop. Now, if we look at the deals section, I did, buy the Mythic and Epic benefits card. I know this is something new they were doing, but I forgot to select my pack. Okay, so what pack am I going to select? Let's see. The charms are the best for power. The hero gear is probably good as well. And the chief gear looks like it's the highest value, but I'm okay with my chief gear right now. Like if I was looking at, and the pet gear isn't all that highest value. So to me, the choice for me is really between the chief gear, the charms, and that's not the highest value, and the hero benefits. So I'm going to pick the hero benefits just because I'm all out after having done that last press for SVS prep. So I'm going to grab this at the epic level. And then I'm probably going to do the same here because it looks like essentially the math is the same. We got chief gear and hero gear and building benefits. And yeah, I'm going to do the same here. So I'm going to select the hero gear benefits card, and I'm going to grab that because this is a good source of getting those while I'm waiting for the next state versus state. So we'll just go ahead and claim these. All right. Hall of Heroes I'm not messing with anymore. The Intel, this is why I got confused, because I think this is the weekly benefits card. This is the Intel monthly card that I did already. And I bought this at the Epic and Mythic level as well. Because as we go further, the value's getting better, and there's fire crystals in here as well as gear, hero gear components. So that'll be good as well. And the hero rally, I didn't realize the value in this. I mean, this value doesn't look all that super great. It says 43%, but if we look at the fire crystals alone in there, that's 70 divided by 10, that's 7. So and then it's not just the fire crystals. It also comes with the general mythic shards. So I think, as I discovered last time, this is actually really good for SVS prep. Look at this. It's got extra stamina in there. It's got the shards. It's all the stuff, all the stuff you're going to use for SVS prep and more. So, and that's where my mind is right now, all around that. The Lantern's Blessing. I did clear this all out tonight so that I can see, what luck I was going to have. So let's just do this quick. See if I get any decent luck. I got a 1x10. 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 All right. Not the best I've had in doing this, but I'll take it. Got a couple more of those to claim. And then I'm just going to let this accumulate a little more. I did clear a bunch of this out while I was doing SVS prep. We have 18 more days, so I'll probably end up grabbing all the high value stuff. I will end up grabbing all the high value stuff out of here. All right. And that's all we have there. Oh, and then I have Deadshot. I've got 5 that I can use. So let's see how my luck goes with Deadshot today. Let's see if I can get a little luck here. Got an upgrade. Another upgrade, all right. Another plus. Hey. Oh. Oh, come on. What are the chances both keys are right there? All right. Fine. But that's, 5 times. I see why you guys recommend doing that. Because if you get lucky, then you get a good run. Of course, if you get unlucky, you'll have a bad run also. So it goes both ways. All right. So that's that. And now, we do have Snowbusters coming up. Oh, the Frosty Fortune. So let me take care of this as well. I think, I did the treasure hunt drill. The speed ups. All right, I know speed ups are for SVS, but you got to do a little bit of something as well. So I'll just clear out one of these. I need that for bear hunt anyways. And if the way that I spend, I'll replace this easily anyways. So just take care of it. Oh, wrong one. Frosty Fortune. Clear that out. Okay, so now I got all that. And we'll see what happens. Oh, and then I'm going to buy up to the $5 mark tonight because it's an efficient VIP spend and I'll get the Enigma to save. I did use a bunch more than I really wanted to for SVS prep because I wanted to press some stuff in preparation for that fight. But let's see what happens here. And today, because I'm not really trying for anything, I'm just gonna do the highest efficiency thing, which is I'm planning on saving them anyways. So I'll refresh, I'll open up the red ones, see what I can get, and that's it for today. Yeah, okay, that's it. So let me see, go into the backpack. And let's see, more than 4 and I get lucky. All right, a little bit more than 4. Empty this out. Oh, good. I got some gems in there. So that was nice. Apply the VIP. And let me see. I'm going to see. I know a lot of people like to wait until this is 100 or so, but I'm hoping to get, I think I need one more of the Luminary. Let's see if I can get lucky on one of these. Not there. And not there. And again with this one. All right, I got a mythic. Not too bad. That'll be handy for the gear. And right now, we're in between SVS prep, so all I can do in the gear is run the levels up a little bit. Let's get another one in the oven over here. Okay, so that's Frosty Fortune. And now a little bit of an account update. If we look, clear those out. I actually placed 2nd in Arena of Glory and 2nd for the season. So that's nice. I was able to come in at the very last minute. I almost forgot. I had like 1 minute left to do like 8 of them, which was the most that I've done in a minute so far. Right up to the last second, I think I got one last one in that got me into 2nd place. So that was nice to be able to snipe that and, paid some benefits. All right. And of course, we have the Alliance Showdown going on right now, but the problem is going to be, I'm not in a position where we're going to be trying to press this hard because we're trying to save for SVS prep. So we'll do some of the basics, but you know, I'm not going to be pressing this phase hard trying, like, look, I'm not going to be spending fire crystals and stuff. I need that for SVS prep. So about the only other thing I forgot to do is get some you know, resource gathering going, and maybe I can use some gems just organically, but I'm not going to do anything crazy for this because I don't know, I just don't feel it's worth it. For the veterans of the game, tell me what you think. I mean, wouldn't you rather be saving for SVS prep at this point? Is it worth it for me to try to press this? I mean, you know, we don't really need to win this so much. The benefits, the rewards are kind of nice, but they're more like bragging rights or something. Where are they? You know, this little island decoration, yeah, it's cool, but like, is now the right time to be doing that? I don't know, man. I just got done spending a bunch of money and resources for SVS prep, and I don't really want to be pushing that right now. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at the VIP. There we go. About, what is that, 700,000 away from VIP 12? Yeah, that'll come soon, you know, sooner than I expected, actually. It's just a slow and steady grind. And finally, let's take a look at the presidential screen. So when you have, I think this screen actually looks very similar, whether you're president or supreme president. As supreme president, I can set the flag for both states, which I've done already. I can, you know, you can change the name of your state instead of just being state 3794. So it shows up in, you know, certain user interfaces and stuff. You can see that you get some benefits from being the president. You get some, you know, a bunch of buffs permanently. You can see that you get some rewards for being the president. This is the Supreme President pack. I don't know if it's different for president. And then you get these skins, which are kind of nice. I get this special city skin and a special march that kind of looks cool on the map. Then you can set presidential declarations that go to everybody. And this has got, I think it's like 6 or 8 hour cooldown, something like that. Like, you can only do it periodically, but this is the one I issued because I wanted to let people know that I was trying to be a good sportsman, basically, and letting the other state take advantage of the positions. So I put the positions on auto. There is one player we're having a problem with, so I permanently punished him for my tenure. But other than that, you know, everybody has access. So this is what the appointment screen looks like. And this is why the Minister of the Interior position, I'm not letting anybody have it, because this person has the privilege to appoint, has the power to remove officials, to appoint and remove officials in the president's place. So this person can, like, you know, change these appointments. And so for some people, they use this as kind of like an honor and a privilege. And, you know, like, you know, to me, that's kind of selfish, because basically they come with buffs. So if you have the vice president, you know, you get these buffs. If you have Minister of Health, you get these buffs. Minister of Defense, you get these buffs. You know, Minister of Strategy, you get these buffs. Minister of Education, you get those. So, you know, people who've been playing the game a while already know this, but essentially, if you put it on auto, then, you know, you can come over here and you can set it on auto approval, and you can make it say auto approval for either one state or both states. So if you see, you can make it only the victorious state or includes the defeated state. And I'm doing that to be a good sportsman. I don't feel the need to punish anybody. We had a good game. We won. It's done. And, you know, let them use it as well. However, I did tell our team, like, if they need to bump some of our players up, you know, we were the winners, so it's fine if we need to bump some of our players up to take advantage of something. But I'm not trying to coordinate that across state lines. It's too much coordination and stuff. And then, again, there's a player that I'm punishing, so I put them on the application block list. So you can go ahead and do that. You can put them on the block list. And as well as you can put them in punishment this way. So, you know, this player attacked somebody that they shouldn't have, the one who's on Lush trial. This is the player who I mentioned in the announcement that is, is punished permanently for my term. And then you have these grants. So after the battle, you're able to, you know, issue grants to people. And then finally, we have the presidential skills, which, you know, you have to use your authority. So the authority comes from people doing their daily missions and stuff. And this is what that looks like. So, you know, whenever they do their daily mission chests and gather resources, you get more authority. So the authority is used for some of these skills. You have to use the authority to do them. So for the most part, most of you are probably familiar with a lot of these, but, you know, you can exchange like a certain amount. So I can, like, use a certain amount of tribute to get some gems, right? That's just a privilege of being in the office, essentially. but you see how it says uses left? You only get so many of these uses. So, and some of them, like you see the ceasefire has 13 or 14 left because I used them during the end of the castle battle because the same player was causing some problems. So I put a ceasefire on him. And then the forced exile, which I've used again on that player a couple times just to mess with him because that's a form of his punishment. He thought he can, run his mouth and have no consequences. Well, there are some things I can do to kind of make his life miserable while I'm in office. And I'm going to do those things because he made our lives miserable running his mouth. So now he gets to live with the consequences of that. So anyways, you can do a state search. So you can search for somebody by within your state. This doesn't go across state boundaries. It's just your state. And then the forced exile and ceasefire I just talked about. The medical advancement, of course, this is customary to issue this after a battle, and I did issue it once the battle closed, battle period closed for state versus state. Research advancement, mercantilism, mobilize, supreme president's will, and receive tribute. This is what it looks like. You can actually, enable that, and you only get so many uses, and those uses are for your term. So that's how that works. So for people who think, oh, those just refresh, they don't. They actually, not only do they not refresh, but they're on cooldown. Some of them do refresh. It looks like the receive tribute is per day, but most of these do not refresh. They actually have a long cooldown period, like the medical advancement I did yesterday, and it's still on cooldown, so you can't use it again. And it only has, I think, 2 uses, just like the rest of them. And all of these work that way. You can issue them, they have a long cooldown, and you can only use them a certain number of times. So you use them or you lose them during your term. And then they'll reset when the new term comes in. So for anybody who hasn't been president before, hopefully this gave you a little insider info, a little insight about what it means to be president and some of the privileges and skills that you have. Now remember, if you like my content and you want to follow my journey and see how I do, see how the spending goes, see how the account grows, and see how I grow as a player, make sure you give me a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. That way, whenever I post anything or go live, you'll get notices about it right away. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.